Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today is the day, guys. Today is the day that I read Chain of Gold. That's right. I'm reading this finally. If you're waiting for a synopsis, it's not coming. Because I want to just jump right into it. I want to read it. I'm not really concerned about what the book is about. I just want to find out when I find out. So I will leave a link in the description down below if you want to check out the synopsis. All right, so I know a lot of questions have been asked about this book, about what you have to read before you read this. People say that you can read this, like if you haven't read any of the books or anything and you just want to start with this, you can do that. But I'd recommend you at least read the Infernal Devices series, because we follow the children of those characters in here. And plus you'll be spoiled for, if you want to read the Infernal Devices eventually, you will be spoiled of what happens in that series in here, obviously, because it's set in the future. So yeah, definitely read Infernal Devices first if you want to read this, but if you don't want to, it's fine. It's your life. Do what you want. This reading vlog will be spoilery, because I just feel that whenever I do a spoiled-free review, I tend to not convey my full thoughts and feelings, because obviously I'm limited to just surface level feelings and not in-depth feelings about certain things that happen in the book, because obviously it's spoilers. So I'm going to try this out for size and see how it goes. Let me know what you guys think. Just let me know in the comments below. And yeah, sorry, my neighbor is just walking over there. I was scared she was gonna see me. This is also perfect timing because I'm actually in self-isolation at the moment, because like I said, I traveled overseas. And in Australia, once you travel overseas, you have to be in self-isolation for about 2 weeks. And I'm on day 4 at the moment. It really doesn't make a difference to me because I'm always home all the time doing nothing. So today I'm going, again, like I said, I'm going to be reading this entire book, and we'll see if I do it. I mean, I still have tomorrow as well, but I want to see if I can finish this today. Also, let's address this before we get into the video. Yes, I've cut my hair short and I love it. Also, I now have 2 bookshelves. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I really like how it looks, and hopefully I can get more books to fill it, because obviously down there is looking a bit bare. Alright guys, that's all I have to say about anything. So let's get right into the video. I'm scared. Okay. So I just finished the prologue, and we meet Lucy, who is Will and Tessa's daughter, and she basically meets this stranger in the forest, and I don't know if we've met him before or he's someone new. Like, whenever you read Cassandra Clare's like Shadowhunter books, you always meet a new character. I was like, have I read you before, or are you new? You know, like, do you know that feeling when you like meet a new character? It's like, do I know you from previous books or not? But I don't know. So hopefully as I keep reading, I'll find out. Alright, so I'm on page 53, and I just have some minor thoughts. So it's really going really good at the moment. I'm really enjoying myself. And I really actually don't know how old they are. They haven't really mentioned their ages. I think they might be around like young adult ages, like maybe 16, 17, that kind of age, I think. Also, the characters are really funny. And I mentioned this before in my Infernal Devices vlog. If you haven't watched it, I'll link it somewhere up here and in the description link below. And I mentioned how Infernal Devices is, I think, the most funniest series out of all the Shadowhunter series. Granted, I haven't read Dark Artifices yet, but still. Infernal Devices, I think, is really funny. And it seems that the humor has been passed down to the next generation. They're hilarious. The banter is A+ as well. Also, we finally get to see, well, sort of, why and how James
likes or falls in love with Grace Blackthorn because we got a little bit of a hint in the Ghost of Shadowhunt market. It's over there on the table. But I know one of the stories they just like mentioned that he's in love with Grace Blackthorn, and I was confused because I didn't know how he fell in love with her and how he met her or who's Grace Blackthorn. But um, while reading, I managed to figure it out because he basically told the story of how he first met Grace and who Grace is related to, which is Tatiana Blackthorn, who is the sisters of Gideon and Gabriel Lightwood. So, yeah. So far, that's my thoughts. And I'm only on, obviously, page 53, so I need to go into it more and see how I feel because obviously there's not a plot yet, like, in all the Shadowhunter Chronicles, there's like a demon plot, but we haven't gotten to that yet. But I'm really enjoying just the characters and like getting to know them more because we've seen them in Ghost of Shadowhunter Market, and I really, really enjoyed those stories because I get to see certain traits of the characters in Infernal Devices. So it's really good to read about them more and see Tess, Will, Gabriel, and Gideon Lightwood, and also Charlotte. We haven't really seen Charlotte, Gideon, and Gabriel yet, but we've seen Tess and only Tess actually. We've only seen Tess so far. We haven't really had an interaction with Will yet, and I'm waiting for that. It's gonna be good. But anyway, let's continue on to chapter 2. So there's a ball going on at the moment. Like I said, there's not really much of a plot at the moment. I'm just really enjoying getting to know the characters and all that. Matthew and Cordelia just had their first interaction and I immediately shipped them. I want it to happen and I want it to happen now. So Jamie meets Grace because Grace and Tatiana comes to the bowl, and James meets Grace after a long time. And I guess they seem cute together and like I guess they're the main love plot point. It's alright. I would rather see Matthew and Cordelia and Anna Lightwood with someone else. That'd be cool. Jamie has powers because obviously Tessa is a warlock, so Jamie has warlock powers. And what Jamie can do is he can transport himself involuntarily into the shadow world. And the shadow world is basically also like a demon realm world. And he's really afraid of his powers. And I really hope throughout the book he gets to explore his powers more and we get to know what it can actually do. And since Jamie and Lucy are brothers and sisters, I'm wondering if Lucy has any powers. Another interesting point, Lucy just met the guy she met in the forest, like years, like back in the prologue, she met the guy in the forest, and she finally meets him at the bowl. And we find out that he's actually, oh, what's his name? His name is Jesse Blackthorn. He is the son of Tatiana Blackthorn, the one I told you about. And he actually died years ago and he's a ghost now, and the only person who can see him is Lucy. I wonder if that's part of her power or it's just like she can just see Jesse. Alright, onward. Hey guys, I just read a little bit and I got to the part where the characters and all the other side characters are at the picnic. Grace is there with James and they had like a little makeout session. And I don't know why, I just don't trust her. Obviously there's something going on because I'll read it. Hold on. Alright, so it goes, his eyes began to burn, though they were closed. He felt breathless and sick as if he dived under salt water and come up for air too late. Something was wrong. With a choked gasp of nausea, he broke away from Grace. Her hand went to her mouth. There was a look on her face he had not expected, a look of undeniable panic. So why was she panicking when they were kissing? But also James felt really uncomfortable. Was she poisoning him? Because before this as well, like he was trying to remember something about Cordelia and he couldn't remember for the life of him, and Grace was like relieved he couldn't remember it. What is she doing with him? I don't know. I don't trust her. Am I crazy or is it just me? I don't know. I just don't trust her so far. And also, finally, demon attack. Obviously, it's bad, but there's action. Obviously, it's a bit different because normally, as you know, if you've read other Shadowhunter books, demons don't
usually attack or come out during the daytime. So them attacking in the daytime is very, very concerning. And because these characters, they aren't like other shadow hunters that we've met in other books, because they're constantly training, constantly going on patrols, constantly fighting demons every single day. But because in this time period they haven't had demon attacks that often, so these characters don't usually go out to kill demons that much, so they're very inexperienced in demon hunting. A few people got hurt. No, one person died, but don't worry, not anyone like, I mean, that sounds so mean, not anyone important, but it's like it's not one of the main characters, all right? So that's fine. Hello. It's 12:34 a.m. and I'm on page 252, so almost halfway. Almost halfway. I just wanted to give you a little update on my thoughts so far. Mostly it's the same. I'm really enjoying it. Obviously, again, there's a plot because of the demon tag, but more thoughts on the characters. I just have my little notes here. So as I said in my Infernal Devices vlog, that I felt the characters in the Infernal Devices have a much stronger bond than the characters in the Mortal Instruments. Like, this is totally like how I feel. That's how I felt when I read Infernal Devices with all the characters. That they have much more stronger bond. And I felt that as well in this book. The characters, because obviously the parents have a very strong bond, obviously the kids will also have strong bonds. I really like how that's incorporated in this book as well. Each relationship in this book is very distinguished and it's just its own. Like, I really like the relationship between Lucy and Cordelia, or Jamie and Lucy, or Jamie and Cordelia, or Cordelia and Matthew, or Matthew and Jamie. Like, you get the point. Each relationship is very distinct and it's its own. Also, after the demon attack, the Clave obviously was like, this is just a one-time thing, like, don't worry about it. Hello, when will you learn that not any demon attack is just a normal demon attack? Like, these demons were literally out in daylight. Like, what more do you want? Grace has a bracelet that Jamie stole for her from like a locked box. Anyway, Jamie has it. Grace put it on for him, and ever since then I feel like, after that story that is, I feel like that bracelet has a hold on Jamie, because the previous story from that was Jamie really getting close to Cordelia, and I felt like the feelings that he was having for Cordelia was love. Not sisterly love, but like love. And I think when he told that story to Grace, Grace was like, nah, this bitch ain't taking my man. So she put on the bracelet for Jamie, and now I feel like Jamie is in love with Grace because of that. It's just a theory. I don't know if it's true, but that's the theory. Alright, so before I said how I shipped Cordelia and Matthew together, but now I'm torn. Like, I feel like I want to ship Jamie and Cordelia, but also Matthew and Cordelia, because we all love a bad boy. I'm a sucker for bad boys. And I am really enjoying Anna Lightwood's character. God, she's such a badass. Like, boys, take a page out of her book. Confidence is key. Hello. It's morning time now. And I am on page 258. And Grace wanted to meet up with James because she said she was in danger. And when James met up with Grace, she was saying how Tatiana wants to take her back to Idris for 2 years without seeing anyone or writing to anyone, which is awful. But then she proceeds to ask James to marry her. Like, but also, here's the kicker. She wants him to get married mundanely. So that means both of them would lose their marks. And she's asking him to lose his marks. I'll show you. Hold on. Yeah. So she said to elope and get married, mundanely married. And then he said, we're not mundanes. Their marriage ceremony will not be considered valid by the clave. Duh. So marry me in a Shadowhunter ceremony, Grace. You don't need her permission. I was stunned that James said that he would marry her. I think this is the bracelet talking.
Anyway, she says, we cannot do that. We cannot remain in the Shadowhunter world where my mother can reach us. We must escape her influence, her ability to punish us. We must be married in Gretna, and if need be, we will let our marks be stripped. Who says that? Like, literally being a Shadowhunter is James's whole world. His whole family, friends are all in the Shadowhunter world, and she's asking him to give it up like it's nothing. She says, it isn't the answer for you have always been a Shadowhunter. I have been trained, never born, but a few marks. I know nothing of history. I have no Shadowhunter partner, no friends. I might as well have been raised a mundane. James says, in other words, you would be losing nothing and I would be losing everything. He's right. I hate Grace now. When I hate, I do not like Grace at all. Alright, because there's something fishy about her. Something doesn't add up, alright? I'm pretty sure her bracelet's giving James some voodoo magic. I don't know. So I'm at the part where Jamie, Lucy, Matthew, and Cordelia go and visit Emmanuel Cass, the warlock that they suspect that let the demons into their world. And obviously Lucy found his body. I think Lucy's power, like, because obviously Tess is her mom, I think Lucy's power is the ability to summon ghosts. That's my theory. I mean, because she literally looked at Cass's body and his ghost was summoned, and she made him tell her information that he didn't want to tell her. So maybe she can summon them and control them. I don't know. That's my theory anyway. I told you, Grace is a bitch. She is marrying Charles Fairchild, Mr. Percy Weasley wannabe. He was supposed to marry, I don't know how to say her name, Ariadne? Anyway, he was supposed to marry Ariadne. He's gonna marry Grace, and let me read you her reason. James says, this is madness, Grace. You asked me to marry you last night, which she did. And then she said, and you said no. You were very clear. She gave a slight shrug. Charles said yes. That's it? That's your reason? I thought you loved James. Like, James, I'm so sorry. I just want to keep you in my pocket. Whoops. Okay. So, Grace said, the engagement is broken. Charles told Inquisitor Bridgestock he was ending it this morning. Ariadne did not love Charles. She would not care whether they marry or not. And James was like, really? Did you ask her? Because obviously she's been poisoned by the demon, so she's in the infirmary unable to speak to anyone. So, yeah. And then Grace flinched. Okay. So, okay. So Grace says, you think Ariadne is desperate, she is beautiful and rich, and Charles is prepared to tell everyone she broke it up with him. And James is like, wow, she was unconscious. And Grace says, clearly he will say it before she fell ill. I swear to God. James, if she dies, how convenient for you. Seriously? This is... No, Grace. Mm-mm. And she says, I tell you, she does not want Charles, and if she dies, yes, she will need him even less than she does now. You cannot see it. I'm more desperate than Ariadne could ever be. She's in a coma, dying from a demon poison. Grace is so toxic. I really don't like her at all. She says, to love me, James, you must love me above all other things. We will forever be my mother's target if we marry, and then our children will be. And how could that be worth it to you? I already know it's not. When I asked you to marry me last night, it was only a test. I wish to see if you love me enough to do anything to protect me. You do not. James deserves so much better. James deserves Cordelia. Also, I got a hint of a bit of Matthew and Lucy a little bit. Just a little bit. I don't know. I think Matthew is just really consumed by alcoholism to actually do anything about it. Anyway, back to this bitch.
Alright, so I was half right. Grace can control people's feelings. Not from the bracelet, I don't think, because Matthew was just going off her because obviously what she did to James. And she literally just told him to kiss her. And he did. And then he was trying to say, you made me do that, but then he thinks it's just like ridiculous. And then she said, if you get in my way after this, if you do anything to impede my marriage to Charles, I will tell James you kissed me, and I will tell your brother too. Oh, Grace, honey, what are you doing? Oh my god. So I was right. Like, I was half right. It wasn't the bracelet, it was just her. Still a theory. It's not like solid. I mean, from what I'm reading, I feel like she did that. Because, right, I'll read you the thing, right? She said, Matthew coming closer and laying her hand on his elbow. He paused in surprise, looking at her face upturned to his. He could see that the shape of it was indeed lovely, almost doll-like in perfection. She stroked her hand down his sleeve. He told himself he should pull back from her, but his feet seemed rooted to the floor. It was as if he were being drawn toward her, though he hated her at the same time. So Grace definitely has a hold on him. I knew there was something wrong with her. I was right. Poor James. Poor Matthew. He doesn't need this shit. Hello. It is obviously a bit later since it's dark. I kept reading a little bit, so now I am 3/4 of the way through. I only have this much left. And it says I am on part 2. If you can see that. Yep. I'm on part 2. Which is weird because it's like all that. And now this is part 2. That's weird. I have about 218 pages left. But anyway, I'm really enjoying it. I really am. I just love these characters so much. Obviously, I want to say that I think that this book is very character driven than plot driven. This book is basically an ode to everyone who loved the Infernal Devices characters and want to continue the story and the journey of them. And obviously we're not focusing on them, we're focusing on their children, but we see aspects of them in the children, which I absolutely love. And yeah, that's why I'm really, really, really enjoying this. Like, this is probably, I'm not even done with it, but I know it's gonna be one of my favorites, because Clockwork Prince and Shadowhunter Academy are literally one of my favorite books of Cassandra Clare's of all time. So this is gonna definitely be on there as well, because I absolutely love this. I really do. Update on the romance. I definitely want Jamie and Cordelia to happen, hopefully soon. And I think I'll scrap the Cordelia and Matthew thing off. I think Matthew and Lucy would be good. But Lucy doesn't really have feelings for Matthew, which is sad, but can't force a girl to feel something for Matthew. But I think she does a little bit, but she's not admitting the feelings to herself. So we'll see. Also, the demon that they think is what terrorizing everyone is called the Manticore. So I'm really interested in that, because obviously I've seen the name Manticore around a lot. So I'm interested to learn more about what this Manticore is like in this world. Right, I just want to come back and say that it's just funny. Hold on. So because of the demon attacks, there's a Clave meeting going on, and Lucy, Thomas, and Christopher are just spying on them. And it's also pretty cool because they are doing the exact same thing that Will, Tessa, and Jem did, where they went to the room above the meeting and then they drew the rune on the floor, but the ceiling of the meeting room, you know what I mean. So they're doing the exact same thing that Will did, and the funny part is Will actually taught Lucy how to do the rune. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, back to what I wanted to say. So because of the demon attacks, Charles, the wannabe Percy Weasley, is putting a travel ban to Idris. It says, due to the gravity of the situation, travel in and out of London has been suspended for the moment by the Clave. And I was like, that sounds familiar to our situation at the moment. And then over here, the next page, it says, what is the meaning of this? Why are we being imprisoned in London? Martin Westworth was shouting. He had risen to his feet. Now is the time we need the Clave's assistance. It's a quarantine, Martin, said Will in his steady voice. Let the Inquisitor explain. So quarantine, like... Is it coronavirus? I thought it was just funny, like the timing of when I'm reading this, and like the words that they use and the
what they're doing is just funny. Okay, so it's just a little bit later, but I just got to the part of Jamie and Cordelia in the whispering room, and oh no, they're so cute. Oh, I really hope Jamie doesn't break Cordelia's heart. I think he's just like acting fucking macho man and like masking his emotions instead of telling Cordelia how he really feels. But hopefully Jamie doesn't break Cordelia's heart. I really, really hope he does not, because I think Cordelia is probably my favorite character in this book. So good. I absolutely love her. That dance that she did, God, that was mesmerizing. That was really good. I can't wait to see what happens. Good morning. It is day 3 of me reading Chain of Gold. I am almost finished with it. I'm on page 452. And I woke up and I read a little bit more of this morning, and I got to the part where there was a demon attack at the Fairchild Manor, and poor Christopher, he got injured, and I really don't know what I will do if anything happens to Christopher. I mean, he's just so innocent. I don't want anything to happen to him. I would be legit sad if something happens to him. I love all these characters with all my heart. I just want to protect them. I really hope nothing happens to Christopher. Very little more to go. So I'm gonna try and finish this today, and then I will wrap up this probably very long vlog. Finally finished Chain of Gold. All glorious 591 pages. Oh god, I have a headache. This book is a wild ride. I absolutely enjoyed it. As you can see, 5 out of 5 stars for sure. If you loved Infernal Devices, I suggest you pick this up immediately because, oh my god, I have no words. There was heartbreak, there was laughter, there was joy, so much tragedy. I really can't wait for the next book. Like, you have no idea. I read this book and now I have a massive headache because of all the turmoil and the heartbreak and the tragicness. I don't know if I can read another book after this. I don't know why I'm being so dramatic, but that's how I feel at the moment. Oh god, I absolutely loved this book. The adventures you get to take with the characters in here, and you get to see their emotions and their turmoil. It was just so good. It's literally the book I've always wanted to read. It is so good. And I definitely recommend you guys pick this up. Maybe if you don't care about being spoiled by Infernal Devices and you just want to read this, go for it. I think if you don't care about being spoiled for the Infernal Devices, yeah, then definitely go for it. But if you read Infernal Devices and really loved it, definitely pick this up because, oh my god. Alright, so that's it for this vlog. I'm just gonna actually now go and catch up on all the other Chain of Gold reading vlogs that my favorite booktubers have put out. I know emmmabooks has. I know peruseproject has put up a reading vlog, but not specifically for Chain of Gold, but she is reading Chain of Gold. And one more person, aclockworkreader, she put out a Chain of Gold reading vlog, which I really want to see. So that's it for this vlog. Hopefully this is not too long of a vlog. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this vlog. I really appreciate like constructive criticism, alright guys, and so I can just improve reading vlogs next time. I really enjoyed doing this. Definitely going to be doing another one for Crescent City,
so look out for that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you like more of this bookish content, definitely subscribe and hit the like button, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.